You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the All Dressed Up podcast with I'm so tripping right now. I'm laughing because of the conversation we just had. Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It's your boy K Dizzle DC. It's my guy Have Streams right
What's up?
here.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, family, man? Welcome. It is Sunday. You know what it is. Episode 19. We are excited to be here. We're happy for all the ones who show up, our day ones, our day twos, and our brand news. Welcome. Half, what up, man? How was your week, bro?
What it do, K Dizzle? How you feeling, man?
Oh, man. Look. I'm feeling fantastic right now. It's
I know
Sunday at
that's
9.
right.
And that's when the party starts, man. I look forward to Sundays because every week is different. It's exciting. It's funny, and it's awesome at the same time.
And
like
it's
all
live, man.
and it's live, baby.
It's not live like when you say, figuratively, oh, that show's live. No, it's really live. Meaning to say, if we mess up, we mess up. You know what I'm saying? If the lights go out, we'll
The
turn
lights
them back
go out.
on. We'll turn
Yeah,
them back
the lights
on.
go out. The lights go out. That's just what it is.
But we got a good show set up. We really have had some decent. What up, 410? I was waiting to see who was coming on first. You first, dog. What up?
Oh, in
So
the building.
I was we were talking about some things tonight. We're gonna have a good deep dive conversation. When we're gonna talk about gun violence and the effect of drill music and rappers glorifying, people getting gunned down in the streets, and is the narrative being pushed in that regard, or do we just need to focus on more positive things? So we'll talk about that. But what you been working on, K Dizzle? Before
What
we
have
go
I
into the deep
not
dive.
been working on? What have I not been working on?
You're like Nick Cannon over here.
What else have you been harassing me about this week? Every
Right?
week on the clock, bro. Let me share this right now. Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, as you can see, if it's small enough you can see it, that is the All Dressed Up Podcast YouTube channel. It looks kind of monochromatic. I'm gonna change that shit. But that's the All Dressed Up Podcast channel. All of our videos, all of our greatest hits, everything is right there. I want to zero in on something that we need your help with. Let me rectify that. You see that right there? 24 subscribers. I know, we all know damn well. We know more than that watch us on a regular basis. So if you're not doing anything right now, go into another tab, hit up All Dressed Up Podcast, ADU Podcast. That's the easier way to find it. And subscribe to our channel so you can go see the videos on playback whenever you need. Also, we are on Instagram. If you don't know that by now, Instagram, All Dressed Up Podcast. I don't know if it's working tonight. I got to double check it. We're trying to figure out a way we can go live on Instagram too. But we're getting on all platforms. Hopefully by Tuesday. Is that what I just said? Tuesday. We should be
I like it, man.
all of your platforms, your iTunes, your Spotify, your Amazon podcast, anywhere you'll find a podcast, we're going to be there, and we're going to have all the episodes back for replay so that the community grows stronger. You can access whenever and where you want. If you're in the gym and you want to hear some rousing conversation, while you on the treadmill or some shit, or go back and laugh at some dumb stuff that we said, or share it with a friend. It makes it a hell of a lot easier, so they can see what we're talking about and get involved in the conversation, man. We're going to be everywhere. Exactly, Ron.
What up,
So
Arizona? And see, that's what I like about us, K, because you know you bring out the people who can listen to us that play bingo. A lot of your demographic, they're playing bingo and stuff during the day. So when they're playing bingo, they can listen to us in their Walkmans, and then you know my guys that I bring out, we're gonna be out here listening to us in the gym and everything.
Yeah,
but
your iPods.
we're growing, man. I appreciate the support. No, seriously though, but we really appreciate you guys coming out every week. It means a lot to us, man. You know, for you guys to come out and mix it up with us every Sunday, and you know, not be afraid to give your opinion on these great topics, man. We really appreciate it.
You want to talk about if my generation's still wearing fucking Walkmans, your generation still wearing iPods, okay? You got iPods and fucking Zooms out here.
Can you believe we used to jog and walk with Walkman?
Remember the jog wheel on the iPod?
But can you believe that we used to walk with a whole CD player?
In that joint, if you was doing anything active, that shit used to sweat on your hip. That whole part of your hip be sweaty and sticky. Right with that Walkman sit. That clip was strong, bro. They don't make plastic like that no more.
So before we move on and get into our sports and all of our good stuff we got prepared, we're gonna be having some promo. K Dizzle and I are gonna be putting together a new commercial for the show. Obviously, we got the new YouTube channel, so we're gonna put up an email to where you can actually submit to us a 10-second clip of yourself, pretty much just saying, you know, what you like about the podcast, how you feel about the podcast, you know, anything that you feel like you want to say, what this podcast means to you or what you take from it so far. Go ahead and send us that clip, and we could actually use you for our promo. So there's the email, and this is what we do, man. We try to include everybody. What up, Shanae? What up,
Hey, Gigi, shout out to Gigi. Gigi still got her CD Walkman. She still uses it to this day. Shout out to Gigi. hey, Shanae, look, we are nothing without you, and we want you to be a part of the family and a part of the promotion. You see that All Dressed Up Podcast at gmail.com. Send a video talking about us, telling people about us. We will include you in a promo vid. We are all about our community and sharing it to other people so that we can get the community to grow. And we want to showcase you guys from our day ones, twos, threes, and zeros, and our newcomers. Look, say what you want to say, even if it's vulgar, even if it's funny, even if it has nothing to do with the show. I will probably cut it up and put it in the promo vid just to put it in the promo vid. If you want to go in there, do you want to send me a video that you're talking about tacos? Hey, send me the video. I will fit the taco reference in there. Hashtag hoes can grow. That will definitely be in there. I promise you that.
That might make the merchandise. By that the might time make. Start putting out some stuff, man.
So we got. As soon as we get this logo slam, we got a merch coming. Hoes Can Grow will be on one of the shirts. I promise you. Hashtag Hoes Can Grow will be on a shirt that you can purchase very soon. But look, we are expanding. We are growing the brand, but we are nowhere unless you guys are a part of it. And we want to make sure that you're a part of it all the way throughout. So go to All Dressed Up Podcast right there at the bottom, if I'm pointing the correct way. Down there, and send in the video, Shanae. Send in the video, Go Green. Send in the video, Ron 410 Beer. Everybody, get involved, and we thank you and we love you for your support, 110%. Let's keep moving, man. Let's go.
All right, man. So let's talk about sports, man. NBA playoffs is getting real. Yes, they are. I don't know if your team's still in it, but my team's not. Neither one of them. But hey, look. Jokic is the MVP. If you haven't heard, if you've been under a rock, they did give the MVP to Jokic. They didn't give it to Joel Embiid. But with that being said, the Denver Nuggets are down 3 to the Phoenix Suns. Who'd have thought, Kay? Who would have thought? The Suns are out here handling business. CP3 is down there hooping, man. Phoenix is up. They might get the sweep right now as we speak. I'm watching out on the side. We got the 76ers up on the Hawks right now. What you think, man? You think Ice Trader's going to bring the Hawks back?
No.
It's over for them. Then we got the Jazz Clippers, man. The dynamic duo, Paul George, Pandemic Pete. He finally showed up. Who you
They
got?
finally showed up, bro. They were dead and stinking for a minute there, bro.
Who you got in that, man? You taking the Jazz? Or you taking the Clippers?
I'm going to take the Jazz. I
Okay.
think they showed up a little too late.
Shout out to Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. Your boy Donovan
Yes.
Mitchell's balling out of his mind from Louisville. Then we got the Nets and the Bucks. If you haven't heard, Kevin Durant has to finally hoop because his two stars next to him are both gimpy. Kyrie Irving, all jokes aside, went down with an ankle injury today. We pray that he'll be okay. We don't want to see anybody go down to injury, but we got James Harden that might be coming back from a hamstring. But that just goes along with what I was saying about their load management. I mean, when you don't play as many minutes throughout the regular season and all of a sudden pop up and try to have a championship run, you
Right.
might get those injuries, man. So we'll see if Kevin Durant can get those guys out of this series. It's going to be a tough one. And that's the NBA playoffs, man. We were talking about boxing, right? A lot of the YouTubers, a lot of the influencers are now trying to line up and get their pockets filled with that cash because I mean, Logan Paul definitely got paid to fight Floyd.
What up,
What up,
Carlito?
Carlito? So Logan Paul showed you he could sit in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. He gets to tell a story. He got in the ring with one of the best of all time. Lasted 8 rounds. I don't know if he got carried or whatever. That's up for debate. But he definitely can tell the story. He got paid. He lived to fight another day. We're gonna talk about that later. But I mean, do you think that this is going to affect the sport of boxing in whole? Do you think like we're going to start to see a lot more of these exhibitions on these third party providers, or what do you think about that?
In order for boxing um, to sustain any type of relevancy, is through these exhibitions because the
Wow, so you
boxing,
think it's helping the sport?
I think it's helping the sport, and
Okay.
this is why we are now in an era, and we have been in an era for the past 10 years, 15 years, that nobody wants to fight nobody. You don't get the big fights
Or
that
you
you
might not get them when you expect to get them, or when you
no
think that it
well
should be
you
scheduled.
you're
That's the
not
biggest
getting
thing.
you're not getting any big fights because nobody wants to smoke. Before it was about I am the best. I will take anybody on. I will fight them. You just set the date. No longer like that. Floyd Mayweather has changed the sport of boxing for the good and for the bad. Um, and he's
Man,
done that.
anytime you can sell a fight, cannot to cut you off and make millions, and then automatically before the fight even airs, say we're not going to announce a winner, and still sell it. I mean, that's strong.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I didn't buy it. I
that's
drew the line on that. If I can't get told who's gonna, I mean, at that point, I'm gonna hope for a knockout. But if I don't get a knockout, I gotta not know who won. That's crazy.
exactly. You watch for the hilarity of it. The Lamar Odom fight.
Oh, did
Um,
you see the Lamar Odom fight? Is this stuff real? Is this real? I couldn't believe he was fighting Aaron Carter. And
yo,
if you don't know who Aaron Carter is, that's Nick Carter's younger brother, former what was that, Backstreet Boy?
yo,
Oh my goodness, man.
it's just bananas, yo. It's just bananas. I mean,
I'm happy to see Lamar Odom was healthy enough to fight and go a few
right,
rounds without passing out.
right. But the bad thing is, you don't have any more good fights. You got so many people out there that are so good that they have not been taking fights. And so that has killed the sport of boxing. Everybody's like, "Oh, we waiting for this fight. We
And you
waiting for
got
that."
some
Like,
good fighters out there. You got a
and
lot
you
of
got
good
some great
middleweights.
fighters out there. You got great fighters. We need another Kimbo Slice. We need something. MMA has taken a stronger stance just because people are being a little bit less
Oh,
scared.
shout out to MMA. Who saw the
Oh,
Nate
oh,
Diaz fight? The Nate Diaz fight last night with the I think my guy's name was Leonard, but he was getting his ass whooped. I was just telling you off air for 4 rounds, 4 minutes and
yep.
45 seconds. And this guy, I mean, his whole face was just falling apart. He hit this guy with a left hand and almost changed the whole fight in one punch. And that's the crazy thing about the UFC.
UFC
Like
is no joke.
every single second of that fight, something can change. And I mean, you
Mhm.
got that in boxing too, but definitely not
Yep.
like I witnessed last night. I mean, that guy lost, but the crowd definitely stood up for him. Dana White, the commissioner, was giving him a standing ovation because
Yeah.
he got his ass punished, and I'm talking about almost came back with the one punch knockout with 15 seconds left.
And shout out to Clarissa Shields,
Oh
female
yeah,
world boxing champ, goes into MMA and goes in and dominates.
I'm glad you brought
Don't
her up.
cheat, bro. Don't
Glad you
cheat.
brought up, man. Don't play
She's
around
an
with
animal.
Clarissa. I
Clarissa
think
Shields.
I'd rather have Clarissa Shields in the alley with me if I was getting, into some trouble. Probably over half the guys in MMA.
She got hands, bro. She got hands. Peter Guns fight. Oh my god.
I ain't messing with you, Kev. Sending
Peter
me some
Guns fight.
goddamn Peter Gunn's old ass fight. Wasn't he on Cheaters?
Yeah, he was.
Peter Guns, man. I tell you, sometimes you just gotta let it go and move on. Let
Oh
it go
my
and move on. But we're gonna be talking about guys tonight. Well, let's go into black business, Kev.
yes, yes. See, he's about to go. He's about to go on.
Nah, I slowed down.
Mediation.
Slow down.
Slow down, you little booger. All right. So we are going to start. Let me start this week since I have to do it every week. Shout out to local homegrown. We talking about food. The Uncaged Chefs. They are in. Look at that right there. Can you see that? Did that come up?
That came up.
Let me pop us to the side right there. Boom. The Uncaged Chefs. They are located in District Heights, Maryland. They do soul food. They do hella good food. 6027 Marlboro Pike, District Heights. This is their website. Let me just tap on this menu right quick.
Wow.
All smoke loaded crab rolls, crab dip with buttery toast, the hangover, jerk pasta, which is crazy. Let me do this because you're not getting the full vibe. You gotta give them.
It's that good. It's that good, K Dizzle. You had to slow down for a second.
Hey man, hold your.
What's
horses.
up, Ma? How you doing, Ma?
Hold your horses. Can you see this now? Did it come back up?
Yeah, it came back up.
All right, let me put us to the side again. Okay, let me get there. Look at that. Look at that jerk. Look at that. Look at this food. I'm hungry. Look at that peach cobbler. It's off the chain. I'm not even playing. Look at.
So you said they got an actual restaurant. It's an actual restaurant down District Heights.
Huh?
It's an actual restaurant down District Heights.
It's an actual restaurant in District Heights. Uncagedchefs.com is the Instagram page. Follow them. Good soul food. Awesome food. Owned by some brothers. They got some great jerk chicken tacos. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Okay.
You go check them out.
Maybe got a place we got to check out.
You got a place. Hey, Mama's in the building. It is fantastic. Look. All right. Let me set y'all up. That's enough of that. You can catch you on Facebook, Instagram, uncagedchefs.com. Good food. Y'all, please feel free, Uncaged Chef. Next time I come in there to get me a plate. Shout out to Uncaged Chefs. Free plate. That's free advertising. Hey, that's right. All right, Hef, you are up, baby.
So if you need to get away, if you just want to get out the house, book a corporate event for the job, or if you want to have the friends and family come on down and get away for a little bit, you've got the Nelson Manor. It's actually a nice home away from home, a vacation rental property that is Black owned, and they are wonderful people. You can contact them, and schedule your time down there today. They've got a YouTube channel on their website. It shows you a lot of photo shoots that were taken down there at the property. You've got great scenery. It's actually located right down by the National Harbor in Oxon Hill. So you don't have to, drive 2 hours. Got a nice caddy out front.
Nice. Does it come with
you don't got to drive too far to get out and have a good time. So look them up. Like I said, great people, friends of the family. The Nelson Manor.
Nelson Manor, right there on the map. Right by the harbor. Hello. That's dope. I just need to know if it comes with the caddy. Let me hit the video. I ain't got no audio on the video, but Nelson Manor. That's dope.
Yeah, and like I said, one thing that I liked about it was they actually had some people down there with some really nice professional photo shoots, and some of the backyard decor and everything went really well. And I thought it was a pretty nice setup. So definitely look into those guys.
Oh shoot! I hit the video. Only I can see the video. That's crazy. Hey,
that's all right.
Yeah. So look, screw Airbnb. You come to DC, NelsonManor.com. Okay. on you a nice chill spot. You can get your bougied up. Maybe you get shown on Real Housewives of Potomac.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, so
So we were talking, right? We were thinking about a conversation that might get some attention, and some things that kind of bothers me. I was talking to my man about an hour or two ago before the show, and we always talk about. I don't want to say we always talk about, but the narrative seems to always glorify, violence and a
mhm.
lot of killing in the streets. And I started to ask the question, like, should we talk about more so what's going on and how I guess the music industry and the rap game is influencing our younger generation, or is it beyond that? Me and you started talking about, what happened to, I guess, the old fashioned, fighting after school at 3 o'clock to solve an issue and move on. It seems like now a lot of issues are being solved by the gun. And, there's no coming back from that, and it seems like right now I'm getting to the point to where I feel like we're being desensitized to it. Every day we're seeing somebody get shot or another rapper get killed. And I definitely don't have the education about Chicago. I know Arizona's gonna come through and drop some deep stuff today. I'm looking forward to the chat. But anybody who comes from Chicago, if you can come through tonight, join us in the conversation. I don't want to speak on something that I don't know about. I know that I hear a lot of the things on the internet about different gang activity, different lifestyles out there that's perpetuated. But the facts are we're losing a lot of young talent that's starting to just really make me sick to kind of watch, man. So I wanted to drum up a conversation tonight to talk about, is it the music? Can we get back to, even if we have to, taking it back to catching a fade or catching a fair one, whatever the saying was, and can we stop shooting each other? Or is it the flip side to okay? And maybe we are doing a lot more positive things, and they're just showing, speaking as far as they be in the media, the negative as far as the crime and the shooting and the killing. But that's where we're gonna go tonight. Join us in the chat. Come through on the text. The number will be up. And definitely, like I said every week, if you can educate me, put me down to some facts. But where you want to go first, Kay? It's definitely a broad topic.
Man, it's a super broad topic. So, um, I want to tell a quick story, right? I grew up in the city. My early years, I grew up in the city, right? And I'll never forget. I'm gonna put his whole name out there. I don't know where the hell he is now, but look, I remember I fought this guy named Leo Brown like 6 times, yo. 6 times I fought this dude.
Damn, man, y'all ain't like each other at all.
Man, what? Look, we could be playing basketball in the gym. If the Bama fouled me too hard, I turned around and stole him, and it was it was just whatever. And like you say, we used to go like as soon as the bell would ring, we would literally the entire school would walk across the street to the alley, form a circle, and everybody who was going to
Or you
fight
knew,
was going to
or
fight.
you knew the spot to go to where the teachers might be longer to get to break it up. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? Imagine that parallel. Now everybody has a camera, but back then you could actually do something and only maybe 15 people would see it.
yeah, and the funny thing was the teachers were on the other side of the street with the school, like go home, go home. They wouldn't come across the street, but those were the things you either there or you fought the rec center or you fought the basketball court. But after you fought, everybody got up, either shook hands or we just walked away from it, and that was that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? For the most part, that was that. We squashed it. Either you got your ass whooped, or you whooped the ass, or it was a tie, whatever the case may be.
But
Um,
don't get me wrong, because I heard another somebody else tell me, Kate, like, oh, well, don't act like people weren't getting shot in the 80s and 90s. Of course,
of course,
I'm
that's
not
not,
sitting here saying that people weren't getting killed and murdered back in the 80s and the 90s. What I'm talking about is the narrative being all these kids now, especially being in the music industry with these promising futures, getting gunned down at such an early age at such a high rate.
when we're talking about. Yes, they were shooting back then, but it didn't escalate as fast as it does now. It immediately goes to nowadays. It's immediate. It's there is no middle ground with that. There's no middle ground because the moment that you get caught on camera getting your ass whooped is the moment that gets. And I got friends and family that worked in the school system. The moment you get caught getting your ass whooped, immediately after at lunch, that video gets airdropped to everybody in the school.
Yeah.
Everybody in the school now has it and sees it, and you relive that moment into perpetuity, which creates that pressure to retaliate. And the retaliation usually is far, far, far from where it should have gone or where it starts.
Well, see, the sad thing is, Kate, we have a situation like with Arizona, right? We know Arizona's one of those real thoughtful dudes, right?
Hmm.
But even he says, "I love positivity, but I love hearing people rap about murder."
Hmm.
And that's the thing, people rapping about murder or people actually living that murder life. What's the difference between the two? And it's one thing if you want to hear about it, but it's another thing if somebody's getting killed right next to you. You know what I'm saying? From something senseless that could have been avoided just off of a conversation. But my whole lifestyle is being spent listening to music, talking about spin the block. Now the beats got bullets in them. The bullet sounds make the whole beat. Okay, you a producer, but not to make it too lighthearted, but just to say like it's a serious topic, and I just wanted to bring it out because at what point can we maybe not glorify and put the spotlight on that? And when can we start talking about people who are doing the right things and are, doing things in the community to, I guess, take the guns off the street? There's a whole bunch of gang activity that I definitely don't know about that still exists though, to where people are still going out there and straight shooting and killing. And like you said, it escalates so fast. So, at a certain point, how much of this can we actually put on? Let's talk about this drill type rap. How
Hmm.
much of it can we say that is I don't want to say responsible, but a factor in the narrative that's being pushed by the media? Let's talk about like certain rappers like Lil Durk, for example. If you follow rap music, and I know we have a wide range of people who follow this podcast, but a lot of these guys have been getting a lot of their friends and affiliates gunned down and at a very high rate. Like I know back in our time, we had Tupac and Biggie both get killed, and it was a pretty, devastating loss to the culture. But these guys don't even have a chance to become the next Tupac and Biggie because they're getting killed so fast. So, what do you think about the rate that's going on right now in that type of arena?
Well, Voodoo said something important. Rappers had the last 2 years to shine and uplift our people. They chose not to.
Mm,
Let me- you know, um, Here's Ron. Let me say, I'm trying to wean myself off. It puts an impressionable mind to do wild things, um, and this shit is not sustainable. 100%. None of it is sustainable. The There's a difference
that's a
between
deep comment. This shit is not sustainable.
there's a difference between the art of storytelling through rap and hip hop versus the glorifying of violence
Right.
thereafter. So, um, anytime, anytime you listen to anything over and over and over again, it becomes repetition. It starts to program your mind to think of those things. Ron said
That's
it
a good point.
perfect. It puts an impressionable mind to do wild things, and all that information. If you're constantly listening to that, then you're sooner or later going to perpetuate those things around you. Now, keep in mind that it's not the end all. It's not the root cause of it. Okay, keep in mind it's not the root cause. And anytime we talk about rabbit hole conversations, you and I both went into it. Um, as we were discussing this episode, it's not the root cause. It's always the end result to a systemic problem that we haven't tackled yet, right?
Okay.
So when you're getting a bunch of kids that are talking about shooting, drugs, paraphernalia, or whatever the case may be, they are either doing one or two things. They're either telling a story about what they've seen, what they've seen, what they experienced, or they're telling somebody else's story or glorifying what they hear uh, other people talking about.
But
These
here's the
young
but here's
rappers
the
high off these pills and other shit. They don't care about their own life. let alone someone else's life. Here's what you got. A lot of these young rappers have never lived the shit that they talked about.
Right.
Okay. They're doing it for the publicity that it gains. Okay. I don't care what you tell me or what you say to me. There's nothing in my mind that can make me believe that Takashi 6ix9ine, one of the most hated, one of the most popular rappers out there, has lived half of the shit that he talks about. I don't care. I
But
don't
check
care.
this out. But check this out, right? And this is the one part because everything you just said, like I'm following to a T, and I actually agree with you, Kay. But who's consuming this shit? Like most of the people who are actually consuming this shit are little white kids from the suburbs, and I say that with all due respect. So if they're consuming it, and if they're showing up to all these guys' shows, if you go to an NBA YoungBoy show,
Hmm.
NBA YoungBoy is sitting in a cell, right, with all types of charges that I'm not even going to speak on because that's his personal business. But if you go to his show, half of his consumer based audience is probably 15, 16 years old from the suburbs because they can afford a ticket. These kids from the hood ain't going to those shows, man.
But
They're hearing the music, and unfortunately, that's where the areas are where certain things are going down. Certain people are getting shot, and it's unfortunate. But
but
those guys are still making the run, and you can go ahead because those kids out there in the suburbs are consuming it.
let's keep it a buck. We're very fortunate because of where we are in the DMV area that we live by an abundance. We live in an abundance of an African American community, but we are still less than 10% of America's population. So where the where the revenue flows, that's where the attention goes. So you can we this is the
Damn, you
same
sound like
conversation.
Don King right there.
This is a conversation that's been ongoing for like 30, 40 years now since the 80s, talking about the influence of money in music. So,
Okay.
you know, what's being glorified, what's being played on our radios, what's the payola system all about, blah, 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 blah. We're going to be programmed with whatever they want us to hear and whatever they
But
deem.
but everything that they're playing right now, okay, that and I know you don't listen to that shit, but everything that
I
they're
listen to live
playing,
words now. I
I mean,
listen to
but
both
I'm
of them.
saying everything that they're glorifying, like back in the day when we were coming up, you glorified the hustler, you glorified the dealer per se, and nowadays, these kids are all on the drugs that some of these rappers sidebar Sons in
That
Denver
ain't
out
no
here balling.
sidebar, Shanae. That's
I
a hundred
know I'm
percent.
watching it in the cut too.
Well, you missed the first 10 minutes of the episode, Chanel.
Right, Shanae out there lunching, man. She
I
watching the
said
game,
Chanel.
but
Shanae.
but
She
I
tripped.
see but I see the Suns are up three. Denver's got to win. They down 3 games. Chris Paul just hit the nice J. But what I was saying was though is you know where was I at? See, y'all got me talking about the NBA, got me losing my train of thought.
You
I was
asleep.
asleep.
Oh my Jesus, Shanae. Sweet baby Jesus. No, but we're talking about the influence, where the money is going and why it's glorified and what these kids are talking about.
Oh no, that's what I was talking about. Like talk about the drug influence behind it. Like when has it been so cool for everybody to be on? And I don't want to sound like the old head right now, and the youth to be tuning into my
You sound like
podcast.
you
Like,
sound
man,
like
but at the end of the day, like, is it really cool to be that fried up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even function off of half the drugs they rapping about now. And it's almost like the person with the biggest clout is the biggest user, like who has the highest tolerance.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, if you really do all the drugs that's rapped about in these songs, half the party gonna be sleep.
So let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Okay. That's one of my coin phrases. Let's be honest here. The only thing that they're really doing is dumbing down the versions of what they listened to, what they heard, what they grew up on.
Okay,
If they grew
okay.
up on Biggie, they grew up on listen, they didn't even grow up on Biggie because Biggie is a whole nother generation. So they grew up on Jeezy, they grew up on
Gucci,
Gucci,
Wayne.
they grew up on Wayne, they grew up on a lot of guys a lot of guys that talked about the trap, and that's it. All they're doing is perpetuating that same thing, but dumbing down the version and simplifying it. Whereas, Jeezy had wordplay and talking about cooking it up.
But
They,
Jeezy was
they,
more so telling stories about what he
they,
did.
they're storytelling,
Right.
and these cats nowadays ain't storytelling. They are um, play by play instructions on what I did. I cooked the pot. That is the play by play. It's no longer any folklore to it. It's like, nigga, we cutting up crack in the kitchen.
All
This is
right.
what
So
it is.
so
And
where do you go? So where do you go from that part though? Right, to go back onto the murder part. And I hate to single rappers out, but like talking about Chicago again in this drill talk, because half of the sound is all shoot 'em up, bang hardcore beats. You know what I'm saying? Real loud melodic. Sounding like you fry and like a zombie mode type state. It's a lot of mood music today, right? And that's what I'm talking about, that mood music. So you're playing it to ride around and feel like you're getting your emotions out, I guess your anger out. But is that a cause for what we're seeing right now? And is it cool to keep watching these rappers and all their people around them get killed? I mean, one minute they're beefing on YouTube, and the next minute they're putting a song out. Like I know, what's that girl's? Help me out, man. What's it? Something Marlton, Vanessa Marlton, or
mhm,
whatever. The Making My Way Downtown. That
mhm,
song.
yeah,
That song got remade by some rappers, right? Some
yep,
drill rappers talking about all the people they smoked.
mhm,
And they're talking about their names in the song. They got the sample cleared and everything. She even had to come out on social media and say to the people that were saying things to her like she had no problem with what they were doing. I mean, it's really interesting to see this day and age and this social media pumping this narrative because we're watching these kids get killed like it's funny, man.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? At some
yeah.
point, somebody's got to be accountable.
And let's say let me give another side of it too. If you've noticed a lot of the music now too, not only just the destructive side that we talk about, um, but a lot of rap nowadays has um, a lot of emotion in it. And what I mean by that is some of it is dealing with
That
depression.
mood music,
Well,
right?
the mood music is dealing with depression. They're talking about some of the things that they have issues with.
It's
But
music to get high to.
it's easy to get high to, and but they're having real conversation in their lyrics about depression that these kids are relating to. You know what I'm
True.
saying? And that's a whole nother dynamic on it too.
But
Why?
that's still, but it makes sense though. Even though you're saying it's a whole nother dynamic, I think it's good that you brought that up because it all ties into the same ending.
Yep.
It's all about destruction, and that's what Shanae just said in her comment. Either way, hip hop has always had a destructive influence, and I love hip hop. I'm not trying to sit on this podcast and have hip hop heads coming at me because I would consider myself a person who respected hip hop and was always researching the game as much as I could.
Mhm.
But there has been a side to it of destructive influence.
Mhm.
And my biggest thing is we need to figure out what's the difference between the art and the reality to it. Because you can ride around with some good beats saying you're gonna shoot people up, but then at the same time, do I really want to hear you saying the guy's name that you just smoked 3 days ago in a song? Like I don't necessarily need to be that hardcore 35 years old.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying. And then at some point, can we be men here, right? Can we be men here and look down at these kids and just be like, man, that shit ain't cool, bro? Like, I watched that video that I sent you, right?
Yeah.
And I saw like 10 young black men that can't come back and rap a day again in their lives. Mothers that lost their sons because of some beef, some people they were affiliated to, um, some people at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
King Von was just murdered because he swung on Quando Rondo, a rapper, and his boy that was with him in the entourage shot him right there point blank in the parking lot of a hookah bar. So
Mhm.
these are situations like, yes, this isn't the first time this has ever happened, but at some point you got to look at these guys and be like, bro, that's not where it is. Like, we're not out here to get in this game to get shot at 25. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to be beyond that. Arizona says it has positive elements, but we are drawn to the nonsense. Men love gangster shit, and women love WAP, and that's what Jay Z was saying. It's that ignorant shit we like.
We and you got to remember too, that they're kids. They're still kids,
Impressionable minds.
impressionable minds, and what they're talking about brings a lot of attention and drama towards them to more kids, and so it's
But again, okay, and not to cut you off, but this is what I want you to expound on. They're selling it to the kids where it's not being lived, bro. That's my point. And I'm not trying to take it there with you, but
no, that's always been the case.
they're selling it to them, but it's being lived and played out in the streets, in the inner cities, in the hoods, and nobody's saying shit about it, but they're reporting about it, talking about, oh well, this such and such rapper, because I'm not going to keep saying names because it's a sensitive topic, but this such and such rapper was just gunned down, or this rapper was driving down the highway and he was shot down. It's starting to be like that every week.
What rap has always been the message, the tool, the vehicle used to tell the story of what's going on in their community and what you don't see and what you don't know. It's always been used as that. It's always been used as that vehicle. And um, you know, we use that as entertainment. At the same time, we need to use that um as a not only just a call and a cry for help, but an opportunity to say, okay, this is what's going on. How do we get into our communities and fix those issues? If I got a kid coming out 19, 18, 20 years old talking about how they have to carry a chopper to wherever they go, to the 7-Eleven, whatever it may be, to the gas station, then I need to really look and see what's going on in my community, because it's always been the call sign has always been, um, you know, the big, the megaphone for what's going on in the streets,
Yeah, but if you gotta, if anything, right? Like I'm looking at the chat, and Arizona says to them it's entertaining, to us it's like,
and that's always the case. That's
right.
always the
But
case.
then Shanae says, as a parent, it's on you to protect your child. That includes the music they listen to. I got a child, right? And if I'm raising my child and they're listening to this, let's just say this drill music, and I'm not picking on that music because it's an entertaining genre of rap. Like again, I'm speaking on a much broader perspective. But
Hmm.
like if they're listening to that type of music, I'm still gonna educate my child of what reality is. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's just like when you're watching a movie or listening to a song or watching a video, there's entertainment and then there's reality. Like you can let this music put you in a certain mood, or if you're in a certain mood, you can put this music on to kind of feel in that mood or experience that mood at a higher vibration. But some of that shit you just can't play out because
Right,
that song's over. You got to go back into work.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't ride into work listening to no goddamn spin the block, and then going to work with a goddamn intensity to level up to here. And then the first customer you talk to pisses you off, you ready to smack the shit out of
We do
them.
though. We do.
you
We
know?
sell, we sell drugs on our way to work every morning.
But hey,
but we,
and we
but
love
we,
it. We
but
we
that's
love it.
we love it. But that's a level of maturity that we get to. You feel what I'm saying? With all things, you as you get older, you kind of grow out of it. The sad part is some of these kids don't get to that point or don't last enough to grow out of it
Man,
because
we gotta have accountability, bro. We gotta stop fucking pointing our finger at every other point and place in the game and say, "Oh, it's the music," or it's the rappers getting shot. At some point, you gotta tell your kids, like I said, what's real. You
hmm
can't be out here, doing drugs, living life with no regard, expecting to have positive results. And you
so
don't have to do what you see in those songs or hear in those songs and live life that way. And I love that music. That's what I'm
mhm,
saying. All I'm telling you is I can play what I want to play, but I don't have to live my life that way.
right, right. So 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 getting to the core crux of it, how do you kind of help curb that violence? How do you kind of help fix those situations um, where you don't have as many kids acting out, real life on tape to that
Lead
degree?
lead by example. And to answer your question, I believe outside of the music, it's like Like some of these rappers, like let's talk about King Von, for example. He unfortunately just lost his life about 6 7 months ago
Hmm.
to gun violence. He was a young rapper in Chicago, but when I did more research on him, I learned that his father was gunned down and he died as well to gun violence. So that right there, you gotta stop that lineage of, I saw my dad get killed by the gun, so really that's the only future I have. Whatever I do in my 20 or 30 years on this earth, I'm more so gonna die just like my dad did. And that's an unfortunate that's a very sad situation, man.
Mm.
Very sad. We need some new young leaders, is what Voodoo said. Shout out to
Yeah,
Voodoo.
shout out to Vu.
Black people who can talk to a crowd and gain their attention. In my opinion, Kay, and I want you to expound on this. Do you agree with me when I say a lot of people who preach positive message in the hood get kind of looked at with that side eye, like, you know what I'm saying? They might not always want to hear that, or people might call it preaching. Or do you think people are receptive to that type of education in the hood? What do you think?
Mark, Greg saying, play that music for the mother, and if she approves, I'm okay with it too. Yeah, so Mark, that may work and not work in my house too, because my kids listen to Biggie. I got one strong Biggie head in my house. I'll be blasting, ready to die. Would say that you talking about the problem with people that come in the community that speak that come in and speak positivity. You have those kind of figureheads, right? Um, we they go wrong, dude. We have these
There
figureheads,
you go. See,
and I think we talked about this when we were pre gaming, right? Like Chicago, for example, or DC, for example, where a young kid's losing their life.
L.A., Detroit.
L.A., any major metropolis city. If the violence gets too much, we end up having these things happen, and it's almost to a T every time. We either have a community organizing event to stop the violence. We have um, we have a festival to stop the violence. We have a famous singer or artist or writer, somebody come in to help stop the violence, or we have community activists to walk the streets and do a march to stop the violence. But
Yeah, but in my opinion, okay, not to cut you off again, but how many platforms do you see from black artists or entertainers that really preach from a positive perspective? Like
well,
a lot of our media pundits and everybody are tearing each other down. You got the Kevin Samuels of the groups. You got this and that person. You got Derek Jackson. How many people are really preaching, like educating young men to be successful, educating people how to be in business? It seems like, and I give the they again, but they are loving to promote giving people a platform to more so get the broader message of negativity out there. Like, let's
yeah.
talk about how everybody's getting killed as opposed to talking about how people are building businesses or people are building
Well,
schools.
before you go there, because it is a rabbit hole. Let me finish that thought train out. Because the first question you asked me was, how do you feel about these people when they come into communities? When they do one of those four things, they have a festival, a showcase, somebody comes down and does it for a big day or a big weekend. It's temporary, right? We can talk about how plenty of us go in the media and knock each other down for whatever reasons there are. Um, the issue is that all the things that we try to do to help curb the violence in those communities, or curb the hatred, or curb all the issues that we're having, are always surface, and they're always temporary. And the spotlight is only
Hmm.
there because the camera's there and people care about it for that moment. Once
But you
that
and I talk
spotlight
about
goes
it
away,
too.
then all the fanfare, all the celebrity names and all that stuff go away. Now the attention is no longer there, and it regresses right back to what it was before. So
But you
when
and
we
I
really
talk about 2K, how we and you can sit here and spew bullshit all day long. We can easily jump into that arena and talk all that crazy shit and
right,
try to go viral and get our views up. But you know what? We rather, you know, have progress over perfection. We rather talk about things that make sense, that we can grow and build on, and talk to people that we respect and appreciate in our community every Sunday,
Yeah.
as opposed to just jumping into that. So go
and
ahead,
and
bro.
and the big thing about that, like I said, when it becomes temporary, that's when you get that side eye. People enjoy being in that company of people who want to bring positivity to the neighborhood and actually want to bring some change. But if you're not there to see the change through, then nothing ever sticks, right? If nothing ever sticks. Now you're there to hand out flyers and to talk peace, and then once you leave. They're back on the block, plain and simple. So if we really want to start making some systemic change, then we really got to look at a lot more things other than just you know, the kids killing, kids or people killing each other in the street. Why are they in the street? Why do they have access to the guns? How are they getting the guns? Where, what are we doing to invest in the community so that they don't look for the guns, they don't have the guns or have to go to the guns? How do we get the community? How do we get more opportunity in the community to do other and bigger and better things? One of the things I think that is before my time, it's probably Mama Hef, Mark Gray, and probably freaking Voodoo too. I know he's 75 with a cane. He can talk about how in schools they used to teach different trades and they used to give people opportunities. You can learn about mechanics, you can learn about welding, you
Like
can learn about
Voltec.
Votech. Yeah, that stuff where you can learn different things to give you an opportunities outside of high school that can give you some type of training that you can take into the real world and actually apply. What are we doing to invest in our community? What kind of social programs can we expand that'll give the lesser fortunate an opportunity to not go down that
That's
path?
the key, man. That's the key because you gotta, in my opinion, give these kids something to work towards. And I think the lack of having goals and plans, will put you in a position of feeling lost. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A wise man once told me a ship, is lost without coordinates, or you can set coordinates for a ship and it's gonna get there. It might take some time,
Yeah.
but it's gonna eventually get there. Unfortunately, a lot of our kids they don't have direction.
Now,
And,
now hold on real quick. Now Voodoo said if people start snitching more, the community would change. Here's the issue with that. If you Everybody knows that snitch is always going to be on that island. You're 100% correct. If the community isn't behind that snitch, if it's more than one snitch, then you can actually make some systemic change. You feel what I'm
but you
saying?
don't even want to get it shouldn't
You
even have
don't
to
want to
come
be
down to the
targeted
snitch. It
because
shouldn't even
you're
have to come down
fearful
to
of the
being a
retribution.
snitch though. It shouldn't have to come down to being a snitch. It should come down to I'm not even in the position to have a snitch because I got too much positive shit going on in my life to be worried about. That's what
And
we're talking about, bro.
in that in terms, we're talking about opportunity. We are so used to dealing with the problem after the fact. Like when I said this before, we spend more money on policing than we do on other social services because we're dealing with the after effects of people not having those opportunities and resorting to those type of lifestyles. Period and simple. The only reason why most times people resort to selling drugs is because they can't make enough money to feed and do other things for themselves or their family.
Or they
Or they
see that
see
being their number one outlet
they
to
see
do
that
the thing.
being
Right.
you see the number one outlet for an opportunity. Selling drugs is a mere opportunity to generate income that you in other ways aren't able to because of the opportunities either not provided or the opportunity is not accessible to you. And it's the same fight that African Americans and other cultures have been fighting since almost the dawn of this country is equal access to opportunity. Okay. Selling drugs is a hustle just like anything else. Everything is a hustle. Twitch is a hustle. YouTube is a hustle. Podcasts are a hustle. If they
I mean,
if
we
they're not
sitting
talking
here,
about
we
porn.
talking about hustles, right?
Yeah.
But now you can go into a storefront and buy your weed, and some people are sitting in jail right now over the same idea. Selling some flour in a bag. So I
Yeah.
think I think the irony is through the roof, man. Like if I was in jail right now, God forbid, because I had a marijuana charge or two, and right now people can go in a store and buy it off the shelf. and it's legal. I mean, this is where we get kind of straight off topic, but
Yeah,
that's the bullshit.
we getting off. We getting straight off topic, and
But hey, man, and that's where it comes from, though. Like, it's what we're feeding ourselves. And Voodoo has a great point, right? Voodoo says his time here, as far as his life, is screwed, but he can help for generations after us. And that's the thing. We need to start telling kids it's not okay to just shoot your brother down in the street because y'all got a disagreement, or it's not okay, to go kill somebody because they're in a gang 2 blocks over, and because you're in that position, you can't turn back. Like, you can't hit the reset button, man.
Mhm.
Go ahead and read that comment, Kay.
Sometimes it's not even about having enough money. We have poor financial habits, or we want materialistic shit and willing to lie, kill, and cheat for a pair of Jordans or some other shit that's going to make some white man rich. It's not even look. Poor financial habits are poor financial habits, and they are learned, or they really aren't taught.
They're
They-
passed down.
They're passed down. So, and the reason why they're passed down is because the person that passed them down was never taught. And if and the person that never and the person that gave it to them never taught, because they were never had access to the information. So like I said, we're
It's the
talking
blind
about
leading the blind.
we're talking about root cause once again. Like I said, a social service, you can. And look, we had a big argument about this, right? We had, I think, I don't know if did you and I talk about this, or did we talk about this on another one?
What?
The federal government, the federal government and your state governments are built and designed to serve the people, right?
Yes, we talked about that,
Yes, we talked about that. They're built and designed to
and I
serve
disagree with
people.
you.
You disagree with me because the people that run the federal and the state governments aren't there to serve the people. And that's the issue and why we have what we have today, because they're bought and paid to keep the people in a certain place and keep the people in a certain position.
At
But
the end of every time we have these conversations, Kay, right? When you think about it and you look back at the broad picture, there's always a divide. There's always
there's
what
always a
everybody,
divide.
right? We know as a people what we want or what we quote unquote should have, but then we always can't be in control of these things because we don't have the resources that, in my opinion, aren't there for
Mhm.
some of us. We say on the surface, well, the government's there to provide these resources, but why are you giving these kids in the hood access to these guns, man, that have no business to have access to those guns? Like, sometimes help us, man. Like take the guns, get them out of here, because they got to be coming from somewhere. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Mhm.
I don't produce them. I'm not knocking anybody who's in that industry.
Mhm.
But all I'm saying is like, where we get them from, and why do they have to be in the hands of certain people? And when are we going to get a grip of things so we can start, making sure our children and their children have better lives? The
And
government
they
there
makes
to
a
drop
very
guns in the
valid
crack.
point. We can't keep using that excuse. At this point, everyone has internet and public library is free. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. Um, I won't argue with that. The government there to drop guns and cracks. I won't argue with that.
And
I
I
won't
ain't here to
argue with
shit
that.
on the government, man, because I
But
appreciate the fact that I'm in America making money and all that, and I have all that good stuff. But at the same time, I'm just talking about things that I see every day,
yeah,
and things that people just expect me to just not talk about, or people expect me to just look the other way when people getting smoked, man, people getting shot up and killed over a dollar or over crack. And the comments are going off, man.
coke. It is cocaine is being flown in on a private jet
Yeah.
by tax dollars. Let me stop. So, but no, look,
Yeah, we
when
can't get shut
we,
down.
we gonna get shut down. Look, the crux of the conversation tonight is about the violence, not only just within the music, but in the community, and how do we really figure out a way to make systemic change to it, to actually curb it, and It's been an ongoing conversation for years. We just
And when
need
are we gonna stop glamorizing and glorifying being killers in the street?
there's a lot there. Let me say this too. There's a lot of great music out there. Not only hip hop has done some really good things um in rap for the culture. It has literally been the
Absolutely.
driving force of American culture for the past 35 years, 40 years.
But
Hip
half
hop.
of those dudes that's rapping that shit have never pulled a gun a day in their
No,
lives.
no, 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 no. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm talking about, but hip hop has been pushing the culture of American art and
Of
American
course,
art for the past
of
40
course.
years. So it's done a lot of
It's the
great stuff.
number one genre of music
Hey,
right now.
Master of None. Hey, Master of None. 2021 cocaine should even be getting past the border. I think cocaine is here to stay. Okay, because that's a exotic drug that
Cocaine can grow along with hoes.
hoes. Yep, cocaine hoes can grow, so can cocaine. But look, violence in hip hop will always be there. The only issue that we're partaking in it is the fact that it's glorified and it's what we hear the most. There's a lot of great hip hop artists and music out there that's talking about more than that, but we have to literally find them instead of them being on the radio and actually being on the forefront, which is an issue all in itself.
Man, just don't fall for it. Let the people who want to pay and consume that shit do it. If we want to listen to it when we drive around, that's fine. But just know what's going on, man. Don't get lost up in today's shit. I know it's been tough out here, guys. I know the pandemic's been rough. I've been going through it, okay. But you know what? I gotta fight to make sure that I can do best for my photo. What up,
Photos in
photo?
the building.
I gotta make sure I can do best for my family, man. And I know that you're doing the same. And if you feel like there's nothing else to do but just go out and shoot somebody because you heard some music or, you know, go pop a pill or something like that, there's alternatives to it. Just go
hella
figure it out.
hella alternatives. So, um, look, just make sure that whichever listen to everything is good in moderation, even cocaine. Ron, everything is good in moderation. GTA, GTA, everything is good in moderation, man. Just make sure you don't. If you're gonna listen to trap music, don't listen to it 24/7, 365. Throw some Kirk Franklin in there, so you can
Nah, don't throw
purify
Kirk
your
in there
mind.
because Kirk is in that joint getting aggressive lately.
Hey, Kirk got a song with Lil Baby out, and that joke. So
Put your hands
whatever
together.
floats your boat, man. But yeah, make sure that everything in moderation is good for you. Um, we just got to make sure that we if don't hurt nobody while you doing you.
That's a good one right there.
God
We
damn,
all got our vices, man, but I think that's the
God
quote of the show.
damn,
Put
bro.
that up there, photo.
Don't hurt
Don't hurt
nobody while
nobody.
you doing you.
That sounds like a song title from like Studio 54. Don't hurt nobody while you're doing you.
Hold on, I'm gonna put that on the t-shirt. I'm gonna patent and put it on a t-shirt.
Hey
But
man, put the email address back up because we want you to again before we go. We had a wonderful show. Nobody texted in and got live with us, man. What's up? We live out here. This is a live podcast,
nah, they don't want
right?
it. Look, let's not. I think more than anything, when we have the crazy comments or topics or
They
the
be
really
scared.
racial,
They be scared.
that's when they come in. But when we talk of some serious
They be
issues,
scared.
and everybody laid back, everybody text in and be laid
Cat
back.
gets their
Fine.
tongue a
I
little
love
bit when we go hard. But hey, man, look, send us your 10-second vlog of what you think about the All Dressed Up podcast, good, bad, or indifferent. We'll put you in a promo if you like it. Be funny. You got time to TikTok, tweet, Periscope, and all that shit. Send us a 10-second clip, man. Be a part of our success. We love you guys. We appreciate you every week. Next week, we will be live on the All Dressed Up podcast channel on YouTube. K-Does are working so hard, man. You the engine that keeps us going, bro. Thank you, man.
if I am the engine, you are the conductor that keeps my ass in order every fucking week. Because I got to ask you, all right, what we talking about? When we doing it? Who we going with? Who you with? Who's your daddy and what does he do? Um,
When y'all going to dress up, though? See, that's the thing. We got a surprise coming, Voodoo. Stick with us.
hey,
Stick with
hey,
us.
hey, and let me tell you, bro. Unlike you in your haberdashery suits, okay,
Oh,
we don't
have it done.
carry neon colors in shit like that. We can put it on, okay. We can put it on. I love you, master of none. Hey, I'm probably gonna go a little bit later on Twitch and talk about that. This is just a master of none. Talk about that grounded trailer. We're gonna get in on that, but
They got a
no,
new Grounder coming out.
no, we got a new update coming out. No,
Oh.
you know I get in that. That's my gaming stuff, man. But look,
That game's difficult, man. Save that shit for later.
you be do coming out here looking like Meet the Browns and shit. Voodoo all day, man. He got stock in polyester.
Hey man, shout out to 410 Beard. Shout out to Shanae. We love you. Shout out to Mama
Shout out to
Hef.
Mama
Love you,
Hef.
my Dukes. I ain't see you Melinda tonight. I ain't see some of the other day.
Don't call him out. You've been calling people out all night. What's going on?
My man Arizona came through like always. So Voodoo, shout out to you. Kay, what you got before we go, man? Anything you want to get off your chest? What's your thought of the weekend, man? What do you want to give us for the week?
I want to say right now. Oh no, it's not. I'll leave that to next week.
Okay.
I'll leave that to next week because next week is Father's Day, ain't it?
Well, let's talk about that. It's Marcus. It's Young Hef's birthday month.
Oh,
So my birthday is June 22nd. Father's Day is June 20th. Shout out to all the dads out here in these streets. All the dads out here in these streets.
Hey, let's do this right now, okay? I'm making an executive decision. If we're ever going to miss a Sunday of the year, it's going to be 4th of July.
Okay.
Okay. So do not look for us on 4th of July. We have been consistent all year long.
Man, fuck all that. You ain't got to explain yourself. We taking off 4th of July. Fuck all that shit. You ain't got to explain yourself. We love y'all, but, you know, we taking off. K Dizzle say he ain't going to be there. And I ain't gonna have no replacement, and I'm not gonna be doing that shit by myself because y'all know how I like to get down on my 4th of July.
Yes, it's gonna be retarded. You still celebrate 4th of July? Look, it's a national holiday. I give two shits. We already know.
I don't celebrate the 4th.
We don't celebrate, but we do partake in the cookout chicanery. Happy birthday, Slime Kansas. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Kansas, June 22nd. First day of cancer.
We drank and we cook, and some of them smoke. We gets down with the get down. Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, shout out to Juneteenth.
Y'all already know, man. Stop playing.
We ain't shit, K Dizzle. We ain't say nothing about Juneteenth. We ain't shit.
What? Juneteenth is next weekend.
I know. So we gotta.
14th. This is weekend. Juneteenth. We don't know. We really don't know what Juneteenth is. We just know it's Juneteenth. 19th. That's why we call it Juneteenth. God damn it! It's a monthly celebration. Show me your lights. Show me lights.
Oh, me? Hold on.
The lights, man.
Hold on, man. You gotta give me the cue next time for that. Hold on, I gotta come in. I wasn't ready.
No, he wasn't ready. Be kind.
Look at that.
Uplift.
Happy Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride Month.
Look at him, man. It took him 6 days to put that up. Look.
Absolutely. Be kind, love yourself, uplift your people, you know. It is Pride Month.
Boy,
so look,
what's up?
I just want to say, man, next episode is going to be episode 20. We're going to be coming out and getting on all the platforms. We're going to be audio. We're going to be on iTunes. We're going to be on Spotify, Straight Talks, mobile. Playing as well, but no, seriously, look, we appreciate you guys. It's been fun. Give us some more ideas on what you guys want us to talk about. Please don't be afraid to come out and be live with us. Definitely text in, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much, K Dizzle. Another great episode in the books. We will see you for episode 20, man.
20.
Goodness gracious.
Dub City. I'm proud of you too, Ma. Thank you. You listen while I'm running. See, we just talked. Didn't we just say this? We just said, listen while they're running errands, while they're.
That's what I told you.
Or
the last 2 weeks, K Dizzle. I said, put this shit up on the platform.
You can do it at the yodeling concert, while you're doing your boxing lessons. You know what I'm saying?
Why you and Mom playing your numbers? I don't care. You can be playing your pick 3, and you can be listening to what we talked about. See, that's the thing. You know, a lot of people say, K, oh, well, you know, Sunday night I got tired. We got recorded episodes. I know we're live, and you guys probably feel like, oh well, I missed the live. I don't want to watch it, record it. It's still great. I watched us record it, and I thought it was pretty good.
All right, we dragging this on, man. We gotta go. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next Sunday. Episode 20, episode 19 is in the books. Hef, take us out, bro.
I ain't got much to follow that, man. Good night. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
And you know, and I know, and they know, 'cause we know.